Okay, guys, thank you so much. For those of you that are not on the video aspect of the call, if you want to switch over to that, if you just called in on the phone number, you might want to do that right now because I'm going to run a PowerPoint. You'll be able to follow along just fine, so don't get worried if you're not, but it might just be a little bit easier to follow along if you are on the video chat. Definitely want to thank everybody for joining the call tonight, and I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit first about who I am. So you know, my name is Sarah Taylor. I'm a I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and Jamie and I actually handle the Dream Team. And so for some reason, it's not muting everyone. Hang on. Okay, sorry. So Jamie and I run the Dream Team board for you guys, and basically the goal of this call is to get you guys just acclimated with the best practices within Plexus. We want to get you guys started strong. We want to get you guys going as best we can, and give you guys any knowledge that we can to kind of help you guys along. So this is the first call that we're doing like this. We've done many new ambassador training calls, but we're just now putting in the PowerPoint aspect of it, and we're going to start doing it instead of monthly, which is what we were doing. We're going to start doing it weekly. We think that might be able to help you guys a little bit better with getting up and going. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Here we go. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this. Hang on one second. Okay, just wave at me frantically if you cannot see this PowerPoint. But so basically this is our new ambassador training. So everything that we're talking to you about, it's all about duplication. We want you guys to have the best experience with Plexus possible. We want you guys to have success. And so with that being said, we try our best to reach out to different people in our sidelines and in our uplines. We have a lot of success in our upline. And so we try and gather as much information about what's working for both our uplines as well as other teams, and try to utilize those best practices within Plexus. And so when you're first starting out, it can be super overwhelming, but if you can just get down a process that works for you, a process that that has worked in the past, don't try and reinvent that wheel. So I uploaded a whole bunch of emails that are just examples. You guys don't have to use them, but I uploaded a bunch of emails to Dream Team, and they're in the file section. And it's everything from what to do when somebody inquires because they want to find out about being an ambassador, what to do when you make a sale, what to send the people when you make a sale, the product instructions that you're supposed to send every new customer and every new ambassador, welcoming emails for new ambassadors, even check-in emails and emails about how when people are asking for more information about Plexus. They're all in there. So run through those files and check them out. They're there to help you. The intent of them is definitely for you guys to edit them and to make them your own. Make them so it sounds like something you would actually say. Change out the wording. Don't say it's from Sarah Taylor, anything like that. And then the other thing is to go in and download. There's a file in there called the Dream Team New Training Guide. And that's a file that we put together, and literally I can tell you guys this, every single person that has followed that to a T has had success in their first 30 days. It's basically an outline of what to do in your first 30 days with Plexus and how to be successful. And it gives you resources and places to look for things and just great information, best practices. Definitely look at that. One thing I will say, and I didn't say this in the beginning, is I have been with Plexus for 14 months. Those 14 months have been spent, this is not a lotto. You didn't just buy a lotto ticket and hope to have great success with this without really trying. That's a lot of people think that about network marketing, but that's just not how it works. And so I want you guys to kind of understand that Not a ton of work, but it is purposeful work. You do have to do purposeful things. You do have to learn the products. You do have to do the basics. So I don't want to scare you guys off, but I do want you guys to put in the work so that you can reap the benefits that are there, the opportunity that's there. So if you are not added to Dream Team, which I think probably everybody on this call should be, definitely have your sponsor add you to Dream Team. That's the team that Jamie and I run, where your uplines. And also, there's 2 testimonials boards, and some of you guys may not be in these, so just check the groups that you got added to. Testimonials Plexus Forward. That's a board that Nikki, our upline, runs, and you can actually add customers to that. So anytime you're talking to a prospect, that's a great place to add prospects to. Plexus Journeys is actually an ambassador-only board. It's also run by our upline. I believe I'm her level 6. She's a diamond ambassador, but she's way up in our upline, but she runs that board, and it's huge. I think it has like 40,000 people on it or something crazy. So there's tons of great information on there, but they want to keep that one to ambassadors only. So I definitely, work on that process, you guys. I want you guys to realize that, this is network marketing, so it's all about relationships. And so as you're talking to new customers and new ambassadors and stuff, really, really try and refine your process and follow the same system over and over again until you know it like the back of your hand, so that okay, as soon as I sign somebody as a customer, I'm going to get them this, this, and this information. Follow a process through your daily routine too. I know for me, right before I go to bed every night, I try, and I've missed the last 2 nights, so apologize to new people on here, but I try and send an upline introduction email to all of my new ambassadors on my team, to just say hi and to let them know who I am and that kind of thing. But it's little things like that. Just work in a system for yourself so that you're doing the basic things that you need to do every day and to have success. And then I also want to encourage you guys to do your first Facebook post. I know that's super scary. I was super nervous about the first time that I posted to Facebook as well. And so I understand where you're coming from. But the biggest thing that I can say is you do not at all have to wait until you have a huge testimony to post to Facebook. The people that have had the most success on my team, as well as myself, did not have any testimony when they first started posting to Facebook. Y'all, I had gained a pound when I first started posting to Facebook. So you do not need to have a huge testimony. You just need to be honest and forthcoming about why you decide to sign up to sell Plexus, what you're hoping to get out of it, what you love about the company or the products, or if you've been taking it for a while as a customer, what your experience has been so far. But don't wait. Encourage people to start with you on the journey right away. That's how I got my fast start. I grew like crazy my first month because I just told everyone, like, hey, let's do this together. It'll be fun. Kind of like a Biggest Loser kind of thing. And I got everybody to join me that way. You do not have to have a 50-pound weight loss story. And if they know, hey, you're just starting out on these products right now, they know that you don't have any history with the product, so they know they're not expecting you to have that. They're not expecting you to have like a 25-pound weight loss or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. Those things work best. Just speak from your heart. Be honest about it and say why you joined, and take a picture of you with your products, or take a picture and just say, hey, I'm starting this, or just make it personal. That's the best advice I can give, but do not wait to post. You are sitting on a gold mine, and Plexus is growing like crazy. So you definitely don't want to waste any kind of time at all waiting to post about it. So it's definitely all about duplication. And one of the biggest things with, how to be successful within Plexus is to do with ranking up. And to rank up past silver, you start to need to get points. And so we need to train our team from moment one. Any new ambassadors that we add, to have their auto qualification on from day one and to purchase a welcome pack. And the reason that I say purchase a welcome pack is that is win-win for every single person on this call. So the welcome pack is hands down the dirt cheapest way to buy your products. It is the cheapest way that you can get your products, bar none. And so if you're purchasing, or if your person is purchasing a welcome pack, they're getting to take advantage of cheaper products than even wholesale. And not to mention, you as their sponsor are getting a bonus, and so are the 3 sponsors above y'all. And so the welcome packs are very, very key. They're a great way to build, to get some checks coming in for yourself every Friday. And then they're a great way to get your new ambassadors to take advantage of the products. And not only that, they come with a little success guide, just like probably all of you receive. So the welcome packs are a big, big deal. But as you go forward and as you're wanting to move up in the company and you know, grow and everything like that, you want your ambassadors to have their auto qual on. And the reason for that is if you have your auto qualification off and you sell to somebody, or you have your auto qualification off and you sign an ambassador, you're not going to get paid on that person. You have to have your auto qualification on. And what the auto qualification does is it's not going to ship to you if you have $100 in sales. So say your auto qualification is set to the 25th. And you go in and you're like, hey, I'm out of products now and it's the 3rd. I want to go ahead and purchase it. You can just go in and place your order and your products are going to ship to you, and your auto qualification will not ship because it's set to conditional. You can set it up to where it's like a preferred customer order, or it's just like an auto order every month that no matter what it ships, by changing that conditional setting to no. And so you can use that, and that's how I do my products because I forget. And it is so, so key for us to be taking our products every single day. And I've run out of products, and I've run over to my friend Amy Welch's house because she lives in the neighborhood and bugged her and borrowed her products multiple times. So do not let that happen. I have multiple people in the house taking my products, so that's why it sometimes still happens to me. But do not let that happen. Just set the auto call up so that you guys will get those every single month. And of course, all the ambassadors on your team definitely need to be a product of the product. So they definitely need to be taking the products every single day, and that will help them do that. So let's talk about Facebook. You guys, we are so fortunate that we are in a time when social media is a thing. Because I'll tell you what, I don't know if I would be successful if I was back in the dark ages of network marketing. If I was having to cold call people 24/7, if I was having to fax people information. We are very, very lucky to live in this technology age where we have access to a tool like Facebook. And so that being said, positioning yourself correctly on Facebook is a really big deal. You don't want to burn your audience immediately by posting lots of spam. You also don't want to post inconsistently because they'll think that you're not very committed to Plexus and they might go with somebody else that's posting daily. So the best advice that I can give you guys, and this has worked for me, I have been doing this for 14 months and I have absolutely not missed a day of posting Plexus. In fact, I've usually posted a couple times a day. But the difference in the way that I post and the way that people see, a lot of spam is that I try and make every single post personal. I make it about me. I make it about my friends or my family. I don't make it just those cute little ads and graphics are great. But when you're just posting ads and graphics over and over again and saying, message me or call me or find out how, asking those kinds of things, that is an advertisement. When you're telling a story about something that has personally happened to you or just talking about your day and, that kind of thing, those kinds of things are going to touch their heart and they're going to be interested. They're buying from you. They're not buying from Plexus. They're buying from you. So they want to know how these products are working for you. Hang on, guys. I got to plug my computer in. It's about to die. I'm sorry. And so definitely focus on those personal posts. And let's see here. For a while, if nobody is commenting or liking any of your posts or anything like that, don't be afraid to post in Dream Team and to ask people for help. We are definitely a big team, and we're more than happy to help you out. One of the big things that I did in the beginning was I actually went and added a whole bunch of people from the team to my page, so that I had other Plexus people on my page helping me out with posts and that kind of thing. One thing that I will warn you guys about is that the people closest to you tend to be the most skeptical and tend to be the people that are the latest adopters of this. And so just keep that in mind, and don't get discouraged if you don't get a lot of posts or you don't get a lot of interest right away. Everybody's network responds to things differently. Some people's network is set up to just explode. Maybe they're a health and wellness coach already, and then they're adding Plexus in, so people trust them. Other people have to build trust and build an audience and, get people interested. And think about how you want to build your brand on social media. That was one thing that I did in the beginning. And I built a brand surrounding health and wellness, and because that's what I was already very, very interested in before I started Plexus. I had always been posting about organic food and eating clean, and I was a label reader, so I was constantly educating people about the dangers of, aspartame and everything like that. And so this wasn't a big leap for me, and so I just kind of continued that on. But think about how you want to build your brand on social media. Think about how you want to brand yourself, because I want to, this definitely does change things a little bit for you when you start using Facebook and social media to launch a business. You kind of lose a little bit of your Facebook from yourself. And what I mean by that is going on and complaining about life and how much, you hate this and that in one post, and then turning around and posting about Plexus and talking about how it makes you so happy now and your mood is so much improved. Those kind of things you just need to be aware of. And so try and be positive. Keep your personal posts, posts completely unrelated to Plexus. Keep those going too, because that's the reason that people are following you on Facebook. That's the reason people are interested in you. They definitely want to see, they're going to be interested in the Plexus posts and stuff, but mix it up a bit. Don't just post about Plexus. And the last thing on this is I just want to give you guys a little bit of education on how Facebook works. When you share somebody's post on social media, on Facebook in particular, when you hit that share button, instead of copying and pasting their words, only their mutual friends that you have with them see that post. So never, ever, ever share that post. It's about their privacy settings. So you're wasting your time if you hit that share button. Not only that, it doesn't appear to be an original thought of yours when you're constantly sharing other people's posts. So just copy and paste the wording, post it into a new post, and go from there. So that's what I want to say on that. It's definitely good to not share those posts. Okay, so moving on. So when you guys get somebody that's interested and that says, hey, tell me about Plexus, I want to hear some more. So the first thing that I always do is I add them to the testimonies board that we have, the testimonials Plexus Forward board. And then what I want to stress here is that I do not, like if they post on one, say you make a great post about Plexus and they write a couple questions or something below that post in a comment. Do not answer those questions there. Just write, hey, I'm going to private message you, and send that to them in an email or in a message or however you communicate with them, and let them know, hey, I'm going to send you this message, whatever. Don't answer it right there on the page. And the reason that I say that is because you won't get all the people that are interested then, because they'll see that person's questions and maybe then they'll only associate it with what they're asking about. Or maybe their questions will be answered, and so they won't reach out to you, and you'll never even know that they're interested, and you will lose that opportunity to talk to them about Plexus. So don't answer the questions on Facebook, directly on Facebook. Send them that private message. And you want to talk to them in a consultative manner. And what I mean by that is make this about them. People do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. And they want to know that you are interested in what they are interested in. So, and what I mean by that is, getting to the reason that they're even interested in Plexus, helping them get out of Plexus what they want to get out of Plexus. If you're talking to them about weight loss, and they don't even care about weight loss, they're worried about their digestive health or something like that, like you want to get that out of them. You want to understand so that you can get them the best possible experience with Plexus. And with that comes with asking lots and lots and lots of questions. And so sit down and figure out, what kind of questions you're going to need to ask. And this is a great time to utilize your sponsor. I do a ton of 3-way chats with my ambassadors and 3-way phone calls too. And those are fantastic. And all you have to do to set that up is to just say, hey, Sarah is my upline, and she is a subject matter expert in the products. And I want to make sure that we're getting you on the right products that we, from the get-go, so you're not wasting any of your time or money. So do you mind if I add her to this chat so that we can talk about these products and get you going in the right direction? From there, you can send them the Plexus information email that's on Dream Team. And you can include your product recommendations after you ask them all these questions and you've consulted with them and figured out what their goals are and set expectations and that kind of thing. Then you can send them your product recommendations and you can look at that Plexus information email for a good idea. And then work with your upline in the beginning to write out the product recommendations and to talk to them about the products. But we never want to be just a salesperson with this. So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. So one of the big things too that I wish I had known in the beginning, and I did not do this, and I lost so much opportunity, is keeping lists. What I do is I use my notes section of my iPhone. And there's a little notes app, and I just keep lists upon lists upon lists of people that have inquired with me, people that have liked my posts, people that have said no to me, any potentials I have for customers, any potentials I have for ambassadors, anything like that. And I'll even keep notes on my calendar as to when I'm supposed to follow up with somebody next too. But those lists, I promise you'll start to forget who all had shown any interest with you. And they're so key for you to go back and follow up with. And that takes me to the follow-up part of this. The fortune is seriously in the follow-up, you guys. I am, like I said, 14 months into this, and I'm still having people that I talked to back in March of last year that are asking me about Plexus again. And there are people that I've had dialogue with on and off for the past year, and now they're signing up or now they're purchasing. And it just has to be, a lot of times, it just has to be the right time for that person. But if I had just let them go, there's no way that they would be following back up with me or, purchasing from me now. So the majority of the sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So that is a lot of follow-ups, you guys. So don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen. This is not the type of business that it's a one-call close. I've been in sales before, and I've been in sales where that was a normal thing, where it's you make the sale on the first discussion with the person because it's an easy little item. This is not that. This is a big deal for people. This is something they're going to have to research. They're going to want to gather information about. They're going to want to talk to their spouses about, that kind of thing. But the key to that is keeping that dialogue flowing, keeping those follow-ups, scheduling those follow-ups is a big deal. Always schedule the next contact until you get the sale, and let them know, hey, I'm going to follow back up with you tomorrow morning after you review everything tonight, or just something as simple as that. Using that wording will help you guys a whole lot. All right, so let's talk products, which is probably my favorite thing. And like I said to you guys before, not everybody needs the same products with Plexus. And so I want you to realize that my favorite combination to get everybody started on is the Triplex. I think everybody in America, which is that number 2 up there, the Slim, the Probio 5, and the BioCleanse, I think everybody in America can use that combination. Everybody. The way that we eat food nowadays is so processed and so full of toxins, and I'm going to get off on a tangent if I keep talking about it, but number 2 is my absolute favorite thing to start people on, because it helps with weight loss, it helps with everything. If the person has absolutely no candida symptoms, no sugar cravings, no poor gut health, no acne, no depression or anxiety, no thyroid issues or autoimmune disorders or anything like that, they're not even craving sugar, carbs, anything like that, then you can start them on the number 1 picture, which is either the Slim and the Block or the Slim and the Accelerator and the Boost, that kind of thing. Listen to the product calls in Dream Team to kind of figure out, you know, which things that you would recommend to each person. But the safest bet for each person as you're talking to them is more than likely going to be number 2. So just keep that in mind. But there's tons and tons of questions that we can ask, and that's a completely different call. So listen to those product calls. But, you know, definitely sort that out through the consultation part of this. But one of the biggest things is once people move on from the Triplex, a lot of people that second month will add in something else once they've got their candida under control. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about welcome packs too. When you purchase, I'm going to talk about the Triplex for a second because that's what I sell the most of, and that's what Plexus sells the most of. It's the most popular SKU for Plexus. But so when somebody purchases the Triplex as a preferred customer, it's going to be $124.95. So basically $125. If they're going to purchase the welcome pack that has that, which is welcome pack I, that's only $99. And they're spending $34.95 for the sign-up fee. And so they're basically spending $10 more to be able to get the product cheaper for the rest of the time that they're with Plexus. If they're not comfortable with that straight off the bat and they want to go the customer route, I highly recommend at the end of that first 30 days, checking in with them. If they're loving it, get them on as an ambassador because they're going to save money from there on out with it. So let's talk about reaping what you sow. Basically, you guys, you can treat this business as a hobby, and you're going to get paid, you know, hobby money. If you treat it as a business, you're going to get paid for, you know, business results. And I'll tell you, I spent a lot of time in the beginning understanding what network marketing was all about, understanding the products, understanding the different things that, you know, our customers are dealing with, like diabetes and fibromyalgia and that kind of thing, lupus. I didn't know very much about those things. And so I wanted to understand, like, okay, first of all, what are the strategies within Plexus? What should I be doing? To get that information, you guys are taking a huge first step right now by being on this call, and that is so key. These conference calls, I can tell you, I never ever missed a conference call for the first year I was with Plexus. I led a lot of conference calls too, but in the meantime, when I was not leading them, I was on them. I was still listening to them. I was soaking up every bit of knowledge that I possibly could because I wanted to find out what was working for other people and why other people were being successful. So listen to those conference calls. The YouTube videos, there are thousands of them out there. Sonia Dudley is amazing. She's a teacher by trade, and she has a really great way of explaining things to where you can understand them. Melissa Eichenhorst also comes from a teaching background, and so it's the same thing with her. She just has a great way of conveying messages. Sarah Marble and Lori Harrison are awesome. Lori Harrison is one of my favorites for product knowledge. She's extremely intelligent with the products. And then the RTP Live. These are all YouTube videos that you guys can check out. Write those names down and go and look at them. They help everything from understanding the compensation plan better to understanding the products and how to host an opportunity meeting, how to sign up an ambassador, how to talk to people. It's all on there. And so you have everything that you need at your fingertips as far as knowledge goes. It's just going out and getting it, going out and finding it. One of the biggest things too, and I don't know if everyone, quite gets this, is attending monthly opportunity meetings. I cannot stress how big that is for your business, for your belief. When you have belief in these products and you have belief in this business, you are going to be so confident and people are going to listen to you. They can tell when somebody has conviction and when somebody really does believe in the product that they're selling. They're much more likely to buy it. And attending those monthly opportunity meetings, I can tell you, I've gone to at least 2 a month since I've been an ambassador with Plexus, at least. And a lot of times, a lot more than that. I now host monthly meetings. And for those of you that are not in the Houston area, you can definitely host your own. You do not have to be even a silver ambassador to start hosting meetings. Start small with a sip and see, or start small with a launch party or something like that. Those are all great ways to start your business. But you can start taking your friends to the opportunity meetings, and basically people will be educating your friends for you when you take them to those opportunity meetings. It's an incredible resource that we have. They happen in almost every city. They're everywhere. So definitely get connected with local ambassadors in your area and start attending those. There are calls almost every day, not from our team, but across the board, that we will post recordings of, that kind of thing. There's a file in Dream Team that has our most important calls, or our best calls that we've done, and definitely, log in and look at those. I think the file's called something like Important Dream Team Calls or something like that. So check those out. When in doubt, whenever you have a question within Plexus, there's a little magnifying glass icon at the top of each of the group pages, and even in the testimonials boards and that kind of thing. And you can search throughout the team board to answer your question. Chances are it's already been asked, so try that first, and then you can obviously post in Dream Team to ask your question as well. But in our back office, there's tons of resources back there under the knowledge base as well. So just go to back office, click on the resources tab, and then the knowledge base tab. And there's information about each of the products, information about all of our policies, commonly asked questions over each product, everything. There's some great information back there. So definitely go on there. Obviously, with Plexus, since we are selling products, health products, the product knowledge is super key. I made it my mission when I first started to learn these products inside and out. I'm a why person. So when I went to my first opportunity meeting, I'm not gonna lie, I was already signed up because I was a wholesale ambassador. I signed up for the discount and I wasn't planning on working the business, but I went to this opportunity meeting because I wanted to find out more about the company. And number one, I was blown away, and it's one of the reasons that I started selling. But number two, I sat there still skeptical and thinking, why do these products do what they do? I don't understand it. And so I went home and I started researching every single ingredient in every single product, and just went at it from there. And I think that is one of the main reasons that I was so successful in the beginning, because I answered my own questions and I knew, why is the Slim helping with blood sugar regulation? Why is the Fast Relief helping with inflammation? Why are all these people with all these different issues, health issues, being helped by these products? And when I sought out that information for myself, I was so much better equipped to talk to my customers about it and to explain to them when they're going to have those same skeptical questions that you and I have. And so I cannot stress enough learning the products. I ran 2 product training calls in Dream Team. They're in that important calls file. So check those out, listen to them. They cover all of the products except for the block and then our new product, the Mega X. but they cover everything, and that'll give you a good starting point to start off with, but then definitely research on your own after that. All right, so obviously some keys to success. You need to get some business cards, head over to Etsy. They have some great ones on there, or you can get some from our back office. But we already talked about being consistent. That is a huge, huge, huge key to success. I've had some people on my team go at this guns a-blazing and go hard, hard, hard for like 3 weeks and then give up and say, oh, people aren't buying from me, and then wait 4 months and then start posting like crazy again. That's not a great way to do it. You want to be consistent and just plant those seeds, and then slowly people will start believing you. Consistency is key. When people see this enough, they're going to want to try it. They see enough information on it and everything. If you stop posting about it, they're going to forget about it. The other thing is spending time. And so for those of you on the call that already have ambassadors on your team, learn from my mistakes in the beginning. I did not spend a whole bunch of time. I was just going so fast and growing so fast. I didn't spend a whole lot of time educating my ambassadors and pouring into my ambassadors and teaching my ambassadors to be leaders. Do that. Set your ambassadors up underneath you for success. Give them all of this information that we're giving you right now. Tell them where to find things and help them and get them set up for success. Be transparent with what you do that makes you successful. Don't hold that in. Let them know that. And then, of course, this is all about customer satisfaction and customer experience. Make sure your customers have a great experience with Plexus. Even if they don't end up taking Plexus long term, make sure that while they're having a great experience with it, and that you're doing everything you can to make them have a great experience with it. Customer service is so key. I always try and switch my customers over within the first 30 days. I try and switch them over from being a customer to an ambassador. As soon as they start talking about how much they love the products, I start talking to them about the benefits of being an ambassador. But if they don't, continue to follow up with them. There is such thing as following up too much, so be aware of that. You don't want to follow up and bug them too much. So what I found is a great, way of doing it is the first month, you want to follow up with them right about when you think they're going to get their products and make sure that they don't have any questions. You don't want to follow up with them at the end of their first week to make sure that everything went well. And then after that, I usually follow up every 3 weeks or so. And that seems to work really well. If you do it in two shorts of time, like once a week or something like that, they start to think that maybe they should have, results in a week or should have results every week to share with you. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, so I'm not going to go over the entire compensation plan, but I do want you guys to understand a few key things with this. So if you look at the different ranks, you can see that there's associate and ambassador, senior ambassador, silver, that kind of thing. So basically the first big rank that you're going to get bonused on for achieving is the silver ambassador rank. To get to silver, you need to have 3 personally sponsored and qualified. That means their auto qualification is on. You have to have 3 ambassadors underneath you. You're going to get a bonus for doing that of $100. And those three people underneath you can have a welcome pack, and they don't have to have sold anything, or they can have $100 in sales, either or. Every single rank after that is going to be based on points. And the way that you get points is over down there on the left. For every ambassador underneath you that has $100 in volume, so in PV, whether they personally purchased that or whether they sold it, everybody that has $100 underneath you, will give you 5 points in your levels 1 through 3, 4 in your level 4, 3 for 5 in your level 5, 2 in your level 6, and 1 in your level 7. All those points add up, and that's how you rank up every month. So the key is getting people that are selling and taking the products underneath you, and doing it that way. So a gold ambassador, for instance, is 100 points. And that's basically 20 ambassadors that have $100 in sales. For those, they don't necessarily have to have their auto qualification on to give you points, but it's much easier if they do. And then for a preferred customer, you also get paid on your sales. And so for your preferred customer bonuses and everything, you can see that at the very bottom of the page. When you sell a triplex combo, you get $20. For everything else, from $0 to $99, the company takes that. Our company has to make money somehow. But from $100 to $499, you're going to get 15% of your sales. For anything, if you sell $500, you're going to get 25% of all of that. It's retroactive, so it goes back to that first, $499. So you'll get 25% of that. For each rank up that you do, you'll get a one-time achievement bonus. So you get $100 for silver, $250 for gold, $350 for senior gold, and so on. So these are just things to think about. One thing that I want to point out that's a really big deal, I've had 3 people on my team do it in the last 3 months, is the Fast Start Gold. And Fast Start Gold means that you've hit gold within your first month. And they use mock points during your first month. So all you have to do is get 20 active ambassadors underneath you. And that doesn't have to be personally sponsored ambassadors. But when you do that, you're actually going to get a double bonus on everything. So the bonus ends up coming out to $700, which is really awesome because they double the silver bonus and then they double the gold bonus. And so $700 bonus if you get 20 active ambassadors in your first 30 days. So that's pretty awesome. I'll leave it at that. There's more to it than that, but I'm happy to answer any questions about the compensation plan. I just went over some of this, but having a goal of the 500 PV every month is very, very key. That's going to give you, a really nice commission check and great preferred customer bonuses and everything. Those preferred customer bonuses may seem small, but they add up every single month, and that does hit your check every single month that they buy something from you. So those preferred customer bonuses are awesome. I already went over this, but yeah, you can also fast start to senior gold and ruby as well, which would be incredible. I've only had people fast start to gold, but Nikki had somebody on her team fast start to ruby. So that would be amazing. Okay, so those Plexus pay points, one thing I didn't let you guys know about that is not only do they help you rank up, but they're also your profit sharing. And so at the end of the month, your points total up. Say you've hit gold and you've got 100 points. Each month, those points are given a value by the company, and that's based on how many, the profitability of the company. And so usually they're around $3 each, and so that would be an extra $300 in your check. So those points start to be really, really big, and those points are actually the biggest way that we get paid. That is the biggest chunk of my paycheck every single month and has been for quite some time. So those points definitely are wonderful. So when I just recently ranked up to Emerald, when you hit Emerald within the company, you get a really awesome Lexus, which I just went and got, and you get a free trip to Maui every single year going forward that you're with the company. Plus, you get to profit share in that Emerald pool, which, let me tell you guys, that is huge. It is not a small amount on your check, so it's definitely something to strive for. It's very, very fun. Once you hit Sapphire, you also get a share in the Emerald pool, but then you also get a share in the Sapphire pool. And then Diamond, the same thing. You get a profit share in the Diamond pool, as well as the Emerald and Sapphire pools. And you get to actually go and sign up back up under yourself and do it all over again if you want to. So you're getting paid double on everything you do the second time. And another point I want to make along with this is my husband is an ambassador with me. And so we get paid on, he's a Ruby ambassador. So we get paid on everything that he does as well. The company allows you to sign up your spouse once you hit gold. So that's a really, really cool perk because we get double paychecks on everything. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the power of 3, growing your organization and pouring into the ambassadors underneath you, the leaders that you're going to develop underneath you. So say you sign 3 people on your team. You pour into them and teach them all the different things that they need to do within this company to be successful. Then they sign 3 people. And then they do the same thing with their 3 people. And then all those 3 people sign 3 people. You can see just how big that starts to get. So you can see at the first level, when you've got 3 people on your team, you're getting, this is all just about points. This has nothing to do with the welcome pack bonuses or the 5% commission on their sales or anything like that. So this is purely points. You are getting $45 just on those 3 people, just in points, just that one little way. So once you hit like that 4th level of that duplication of adding 3 people, you're at $972. And once you're at the 5th level, you're at $2,184 just on that level. So in total, that's 3,744 points in your entire organization once you get through that 5th level of doing this. Those add up big time. So it's really and truly is all about setting your leaders up below you to have success. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the leaders retreat that is coming up. I went to it last year along with Jamie and a bunch of the people on our team. I had silver ambassadors go. So this definitely is something that's achievable for every single person on this call. The contest just started. But as you can see, there's different ways for you to earn credits in the contest. Signing ambassadors is a big one. You'll get 10 credits for each person that you add. You get 5 credits for each new preferred customer or new retail customer, and the key is new. So not every single time that they order. You'll just get 5 points the first time that they order. And then for the personal volume that you add, you'll get a certain amount of credits. Say you added, you had $500 in sales, you'll get 50 credits for that. So the minimum qualification to get to Leaders Retreat is 650 credits. And then there's a whole bunch of different special events that you can get. You can get a travel voucher for 1,200 credits and so on. Spa, you know, a shopping spree for $5,000, which was really neat. Nikki got to go on that last year. But it is a fun time. This is a free trip. You get to take your spouse on the trip with you. And they put us up at the Gaylord last year, and they're doing that again this year. It's going to be in Washington, D.C. this year, and it's in October. And basically, it is a great bonding time. You get to interact with a lot of the different leaders in the company, and then you get to learn a lot too. They do some trainings up there, but mainly it's just all about networking and having fun and interacting with your team and learning how to do better at Plexus. So it's great. I am going to go back to my main screen and open it up for a Q&A now. So let me get back over to there. And okay, so what I'm going to do is if you go down and you can go down to the participants tab, and you can, I believe you can click raise your hand on that, and then I can, if you have a question, I can unmute you so you can ask it. So if anybody has a question. Anybody at all? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody. And if anybody, okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. Okay, Victoria. Victoria Strong. Did you have a question? Victoria Strong. No. Okay. She has her hand up. Okay. Anybody else have a question? All right. Well, I guess that's it then. I appreciate everybody calling into the call. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm always available for you guys. If you have any questions, just send me a message or ask on Dream Team. I love helping everybody out. It's super fun. So just let me know. And thank you guys so much for joining the call. And I'm so excited about this next year with Plexus. It's going to be huge. So see you guys later.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.